Now we want to take you live to the White House, where One America's Trey Yingst has more on today's meeting. And Trey, this is truly a historic encounter between two men who've really been enemies for years. And this is the first time that both of them are meeting in the Oval Office. And as you just heard, Obama said he had an excellent conversation. And you heard from Trump, who said that he respects this very good man. What kind of signal is this sending to Americans?
Yeah, this is a complete turnaround. I mean, we saw throughout the campaign season and throughout the election cycle attacks from Donald Trump to Obama and Obama to Donald Trump. They're on two different sides of the aisle, and they really have not gotten along thus far. So the meeting today, like you said, is really one for the history books. I think that what we're going to see from here on out is Donald Trump reaching out to people in Washington, to Democrats in Washington on the other side of the aisle, because he knows that the election is over. He will be president of the United States. He will be the 45th president of the United States, and now he has to look to policy. He has to look ultimately to what he wants to get done when he is in the White House. So I think the words that we're hearing coming out of this initial meeting in the Oval Office from both President Obama and President-elect Donald Trump are very encouraging. Like Obama said, he actually used the word encouraging, and I think this is going to send a signal to the American people who are out in the streets protesting, who are cheering because their candidate Donald Trump won, that we can ultimately come together as a nation and find some sort of common ground to get something done here in Washington.
And it's a busy day for Donald Trump. His trip continues throughout D.C., doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right. After this, he'll be headed to Capitol Hill to meet with Republican leaders in Washington. There's a number of Republican leaders that he's had a bit of a rough patch with throughout the election cycle, Speaker Paul Ryan and others here in Washington. So I think what you're going to see is, A, he's going to mend the bridges that may have been damaged throughout the election cycle when people were going back and forth, giving him support, sometimes withdrawing support. And I think additionally, you're going to see him on Capitol Hill talking to members of Congress and other lawmakers who ultimately want a spot in Donald Trump's cabinet. That's a big conversation here today in Washington, is who will end up on Donald Trump's cabinet. Some of the names that have been tossed around today: Senator Bob Corker from Tennessee, Jeff Sessions, and a number of other Republican leaders here in Washington.
I guess we'll just have to wait and see. We're all wondering the same thing. Our very own Trey Yingst reporting live at the White House as President-elect Donald Trump and President Obama meet for the first time to talk about the transition of power. Thank you.